Welcome back to the course Network and Cyber Security. So here in this video lecture, we'll go through anti-pattern catalogs. Okay, network always play by the rules. Next anti-pattern catalog is odd on the outside, GUI in the middle, and Webify everything anti-pattern catalog. Anti-pattern catalog is network always play by the rules. We'll discuss this with the templates or components of full cyber anti-pattern templates. So here anti-pattern name is always title of the catalog. Network always play by the rules. So it is acceptable when we are connecting to the any network. So usually there are many things will be done. Handshaking protocol and authentications will also verified. So authentication is also done. So it is all if we users feels that network is safe, then only is going to connect it to the network. So also known as trust all servers. We should not trust all the servers, right? So servers and users authentications, many signals will be transferred from user to the servers, and so there are several acknowledgements from server and even with the users also. So once they come to the conclusion that server can trust to the user and user can trust to the server, so then only the connections will be established. Yeah, trust all servers, trust all clients. Do you believe in the magic? So there are different names we can give for same anti-pattern catalog. So refactored solution names, system hardening, state-of-the-art wireless security protocols. Unbalanced primary forces, it is from CIA module. It uses confidentiality and integrity. It uses CI. So anecdotal evidence is in wireless. The access point which the strongest signal is the one that user device will trust, even if it is malicious. So we already discussed in module 1. So there is authentication between the client and server. So which is based on that. We learned that. So client and server authentications, how it will happen. Sending several signals and acknowledgement. So we should not trust easily any client or any server too. Next, anti-pattern solutions for this particular anti-pattern catalogs. Security in the mind. Yes, always we should think about the security. The internet was not designed with the security in mind. Neither were many wireless technologies, for example both Wi-Fi enabled laptops and global system for mobile communication GSM, cell phones, accept any base stations that knows the respective protocols. There is a free security tool called Karma that can turn any Wi-Fi enabled laptop into a imposter wireless access point, described as internet in a box. Karma is also fools other laptops into sharing their cookies and major websites and other purpose. So when our device is connecting to the Wi-Fi, we need to think twice. So because when we are connected to the Wi-Fi, so the Wi-Fi internet provider, through the Wi-Fi, he can monitor our website activities. They can view our cookies also. So we need to be take care about ourselves before we are connecting to any freely available Wi-Fi. Security research tool. So these tools is going to generate a network layer 2 attacks. The data link layer protocols in this layer generally do not authenticate other systems. Meaning is whatever frames they are sent or accepted as valid and acted upon. So this is the general vulnerability responsible for ARP cache poisoning, which is going to corrupting machines and internet addresses also. So Yersinia can perform host spoofing and monkey in the middle attack on 6 additional protocols including dynamic host configuration protocol. So which is responsible for assigning internet protocol addresses to machines. Security issues on internet. So many of the security issues on the internet are due to the software is going to assuming that all others are playing by the rules only. For example, so let's assume other programs follow all of the internet requests for comments, standards, specification, and always exchange responsible parameters. So cyber is going to exploit code and malware exploit. These design assumption by deliberately breaking the rules and catching the technology off ground, causing the targeted software to perform operations it was not designed to do and on behalf of the attacker. So what are the causes, symptoms and consequences of lack of server authentication? So that is HTTP, Wi-Fi, GSM, DNS and SMTP. So we know that what is HTTP, then Wi-Fi, GSM. SMTP is small mobile transport protocol. So hypertext transport protocol. So when we are connecting to any website, server authentication is very important, and we are already discussed how the authentication will be done. That is basically through handshake protocol or handshaking protocol. We made a discussion on this in module 1 itself. So lack of client authentication. So client also need to be authenticated with the server also. So that is through HTTP or HTTPS. So HTTPS is hypertext transport protocol with secure socket layer. So not mentoring networks for malformed protocol and packets. So we need to monitor, actually we need to monitor the networks for malformed protocol and packets. If we are not doing it, so that is one of the causes to create an anti-pattern, that is network always play by the rules. So refactored solutions and examples. Use of cyber security. So there are many internet weakness in the internet technologies that we cannot mitigate, but what we can do is use cyber security best practice to make our system hard targets. So hardening the system configuration. So hardening the system configuration is nothing but we are doing or we are making a strong configuration such that so there is no attacks from the attackers. So for example, say harden system configuration according to the best practice guidelines. Use the most advanced updated solutions for antivirus and anti-spyware, IDS, IPS and host based security system, that is HBBS. So which is going to configure the system such as Wi-Fi enabled laptops to require host authentication, and engineering security into the system from the beginning of the development life cycle. So host authentication. Host authentication is when we are going to connect it, okay, with the Wi-Fi connection. So related solutions, fundamental rethinking of the internet. Before we are connecting to the internet, we need to rethink about whether we need to we are going to connect it to the safe network or unsafe network. Some authorities have argued for a fundamental rethinking of the internet, but with much stronger support for delegations of the trust and attribution of user actions. Next anti-pattern that we need to discuss is on hard on the outside, GUI in the middle. Anti-pattern name, same as the title of the anti-pattern, hard on the outside, GUI in the middle. So also known as other names for the anti-pattern. Two-step of defense in depth, perimeter security, protect everything from all threats. Refactored solution names, HBBS, network, enclaves. So we know what is HBBS, host based security system. Unbalanced primary forces, that is from CIA model. It uses management of confidentiality. Anecdotal evidence, so it is like quoted form. Each user's browser is sending thousands of spyware becomes every day, beacons every day. Advanced persistent threat, our network are totally secure, we have firewall. Basically two codes we can give for hard on the outside and GUI in the middle anti-pattern. So next, anti-pattern solutions. So traditional network architectures include three major domains. They have internet boundary or DMZ, the data center storage area network, so that is SAN in short form, and the rest of the network, internet. So internet boundary, data center storage area network, that is SAN, and the rest of the network. So between the DMZ and internet, there are network security devices including firewall and possibly an IDS, IPS, intrusion detection system or intrusion prevention system. So network security is concentrate at the firewall, and firewalls are assumed to protect the entire network. In drive-by malware, attackers take advantage of the fact that most internet browsers are configured to execute scripted code by default. If your browser encounters a malware infected site, attacker's code is executed on your system. Drive-by malware sites are widespread on the internet. For example, there are more than 9,000 sites that distribute free antivirus protection, which is really malware in disguise. One malware variety, ransomware locks up your system and demands a payment. Inside the firewall, there are a few internal protection on intranets. However, the greatest threat of all the insider threat is inside the firewall. Insider threats are most dangerous because they have legitimate network credentials and they know about the most valuable information. External threats penetrate the network and get inside the firewall, often through stealthy means. In a common APT scenario, specific employees are studied using their online information such as Facebook pages, LinkedIn profiles and other public data. In phishing attacks, targeted emails are crafted with malware attachments, uh, preying on the gullibility and curiosity of people. The malware is opened and the system infected with, for example, a key logger. The key logger sends keystroke data back to the attackers on the port 80, quickly gaining the user's login credentials and eventually a system administrator's credentials when they log in to perform maintenance. With administrative credentials, the malware can be propagated to many other machines inside the firewall. So in effect, the entire internet is owned by attacker. Causes, symptoms and consequences, okay, which includes no protected network enclaves inside the firewall on the internet, no HBBS, no configuration monitoring, other cyber anti-patterns such as never read the log. So these are the causes which okay, this anti-pattern can create or can cause. So known exceptions for small networks of perhaps fewer than 50 users. A traditional network architecture might be workable. However, additional measures such as system hardening and HBBS should be implemented. So refactored solution and examples are security should be carefully designed. For logger network with extensive information assets, intranet security should be carefully designed. What are the most critical information assets in the enterprise? So these deserves additional protection such as a separate firewalled network enclave with IDS and IPS network monitoring. Security should be focused on the assets most deserving of additional safeguards. State-of-the-art security solutions include continuous configuration monitoring. Okay, there are tools, for example, Tripwire, that monitor changes to key system files such as the kernel and dynamic link libraries. Other tools encapsulate both files, system changes and application program interface API calls, preventing malicious actions such as the McAfee, HBBS. Some tools perform periodic security vulnerability and configuration testing such as Retina from Hive, Nessus from Tenable and Nexopose from Rapid7. Next anti-pattern type is Webify Everything. Anti-pattern name is Webify Everything, also known as cross-site scripting, cross-site request forgery, US power grid on the internet, global financial system on internet. Refactored solutions, solution names, physical separation, out of band separation. So unbalanced primary forces, management of integrity and availability. Anecdotal evidence, why the hell would they put the electrical power grid on the internet? Anti-pattern solutions for this particular anti-pattern Webify Everything. Webify Everything. So it is a mindset, defines common sense when it proliferate web interfaces for critical infrastructure. Does it make sense to proliferate easily maintained and massively replicable remote interfaces to control electric power plants and core network devices? So called smart grid. Okay, does Webify its control devices and screens and major providers of network devices specify their control interfaces. Cross-site scripting. The problem is compounded by the common malware technique called cross-site scripting. What internet browsers do is, it is going to execute a remote code in the form of HTML, JavaScript and other static and dynamic scripting notations. So hypertext, so hypertext markup language, that is HTML, can no longer be considered a begin static notation. The introduction of HTML 5.0, 5.0, it is going to create a security issues by adding facilities for remote code execution and read-write access to local browser client disk. When remote code executes in an internet browser, it has complete access to all the open browser windows, all their data and all their implied authorities. So XSS attacks combined with webified remote infrastructure control is a recipe for disaster. Whenever remote administrative interfaces are logged in and the user surfs to additional internet sites, there is a distinct possibility that cross-site scripting attacks could gain control of highly valued infrastructure targets. So next, to supervisor control and data acquisition, SCADA system. System are the core control system of machines. So it is going to utilizes and manufacturing infrastructure. The Stuxnet worm, which proliferate widely in the Middle East and Asia, but only targeted very specific devices, proved that targeted attacks on SCADA systems are such more than theoretical. So in theory, due to ambitions and capability of cyber worries in dozens of countries, there are rootkits, backdoors and logic bombs infecting much of our modern infrastructure, power plants, public works, financial system, defense system and possibly air traffic control systems. So coming to the causes, symptoms and consequences. The causes, listed over here. Thin internet. Web browser are a user interface platform for applications called thin clients. Thin clients are used and are convenient for system administrators because there is no client software installation or client software update. So website with malicious content. It is going to deal about users are in the habit of opening multiple browser tabs and connecting with multiple websites. Websites with malicious content are a significant and prevalent threat. Malicious content such as malware scripts can be embedded in the site or served up through advertisements supplied by the third parties. So coming to the refactored solutions and examples. Software virtual private network. Software virtual private networks is going to provide out of band separation of communications across public networks. This means that interception of packets using technologies like network sniffers are essentially prevented. So virtual private networks are widely deployed technology. One wonders why virtual private networks are not used universally. For example, providers that sends unencrypted emails across the internet are inviting explosion of the data and possible future attacks. So coming to the related solutions. So dedicated physically separate computer for all financial transactions. So this is financially motivated attacks. Okay, to prevent XSS, cross-siting scripting and other attacks, the American Bankers Association recommended using a dedicated physical separate computer for all financial transactions. Although this seems like an extreme solutions, it is a realistic response to the threats, but still chances are that hardened, well patched computer which is only used to connect to trusted financial sites is much less likely to be compromised by malware than a computer that is exposed to general internet suffering. Okay, so it's all about Webify everything and anti-pattern. So from this video we have gained the knowledge about network always play by the rules, hard on the outside, GUI in the middle, Webify everything, anti-pattern catalogs. If you have any doubts after watching this video, feel free to post your doubts in comment section so that I am able to answer your doubts. Thank you for watching my video.